right, ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at the OSU Ballroom, where we are here watching special coverage of the Let There Be Land 5 winter of 2014. I am your host, John Fosdick, and today we are going to go ahead and start out with some League of Legends. Now, just so you know, you are watching Split Screen, which is a new TV show on KBVR, and this show will also be shown on YouTube and the channel. Channel 26, I believe, for the KBVR TV show here in Corvallis. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you a picture of the game that we're starting. We've got a little bit of a delay, but I'll try to explain it the best I can with the time that I have. If you look over on the left side, you will see the blue team. Now, the blue team has 5 champions, and the purple team has 5 champions. Now, in League of Legends, it's a 5v5 game where strategy is very, very, very important. Now, so just to explain it a little bit more, on the left side there, you've got the blue team, and you have the characters, or champions as they're called, Ziggs, Rumble, Ezreal, Maokai, and Nami. Now, just to help with the explanation a little bit more why this is important, each champion usually goes to a certain lane, and during this, the lanes are used to so the team can battle. Now, Ziggs is going to be their mid lane, and Rumble is going to be their top. Ezreal is going to be their ADC, which is AD carry, or attack damage carry. Maokai is their jungler, and Nami is their support. Now, for the purple team, we have Annie, Orianna, Amumu, Vayne, and Renekton. Now, Annie is probably going to be their mid. Orianna, let me correct that. Annie is probably going to be their support. Orianna is going to be their mid. Amumu is going to be their jungler. Vayne is going to be their AD carry, and Renekton is going to be their top. Now, if we, when the game actually starts, you'll get to understand it a little bit clear. All right. So, just so it's understood, I really need the game coverage to start to explain it a little bit better. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out to the people out in the actual arena, out in the ballroom, so I can show you the amount of people that we've really got here. There's supposed to be, I think, about 200 people coming down for this thing. We've got people from all over the state that are coming down to see this thing. Now, like I said, the game that we're looking for right now is called League of Legends. It's a very popular game. I believe it's got a 60 million player fan base. I believe that's correct. I might have to look it up to double check, but it's pretty big. There's even professional gamers that have played it. It's called the LCS. So if you're interested in that, you might be able to look that up. Just throw it in Google, LCS or League of Legends LCS, and you'll be able to find out more. Now, here in a second, I'm going to pull us over to actual gameplay footage that will be able to help you out with, and I'll be commentating the whole game to try to help you guys understand it a little bit better. So, here we go. This is the loading screen. Now, like I said before, it's a team of 5v5, and each team has a certain character that is made to play a certain lane. And it's always going to be different depending on, which the team wants and how things are played. This is an online multiplayer game as well, which I thought I'd explain. I'm trying to help explain the game as best as I can. With the game has several different features. There's solo queuing, which is going on by yourself and trying to find a team. There's 5v5 matches where you join a team and your team works together. There's also a game type called Domination that you can play where the map is a little different. I don't think we're going to be seeing any of that gameplay today, but like I said, I'm just trying to explain the game a little bit better. Okay, so here's the beginning of the footage. This is how the game usually starts out. Now, if you look at what's going on here, you got your 5 players at their buying point. And now this is where the champions will buy the items that they start with the gold that they start with. This gold is used and gained throughout the game by doing certain things like achieving objectives, or killing enemy team, or killing these little guys that you'll see here in about 30 seconds called creeps. Now, from what we're seeing right here, this is the purple team, and they are moving in to invade or protect their blue. I'm not quite sure yet. We'll have to wait to see what happens when they unfold. But all 5 team members have gone ahead and huddled up in the center of the map. Now, I think I can control the camera a little bit. If you give me a second, I'm going to manual camera here. And I should be able to move the camera around. There we go. So, little basis. If you look in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you'll see the mini-map. Each team has 3 lanes. So this is the top lane. You've got your mid lane, which is right here in the middle, of course. And then you have your bottom lane. And each lane is taken up by a certain group of the champions. Now, like I said earlier, for the purple team that we're looking at here, their bottom lane is going to have Annie, and it's going to have Vayne. Their middle lane is going to have, right here, is going to be Orianna, and then their top lane is going to be Renekton, the alligator-looking guy. And if you look in the middle, all of these grassy areas in the middle here, that is what is called the jungle. Now, as you can see, the purple team is starting to move out from that bush that they were sitting in, and they're going over here to this little area right here. This right here is the blue. It's referred to as the blue. It's a blue buff. It's a buff that gives mana regeneration and cooldown, and for their skills. So when they fight, their skills will come back and they can use them more often. Now, as you can tell, see, Annie and Vayne went down to the bot to verse off against Naomi and Ezreal, and we've got Ziggs and Orianna here in the center. And then we've got Renekton and Rumble up top. Now, down here, we have Maokai, the big tree. He's clearing out the wolves. And we've got Amumu over here clearing out his wolves. Now, like I said, the game is very strategical. And if you look here at the center, we've got a little bit going on here. If you look at the little health bars that you see for the characters, the purple is trying to kill the blue, and the blue is trying to kill the purple. But the goal here in this part of the phase is called laning phase. And the goal for this is that the champions kill the creeps and collect gold. I don't know if you can see the little gold popping up and telling them that they've gotten 20 gold or whatnot. But they're collecting gold so that they can buy their items. Now, if you look in the bottom of the screen, you will see pretty much 5 bars on each side, split in half with characters' pictures next to them. There you'll see 3 rows of zeros, and you will see numbers and then the pictures. The numbers directly to the outside of the pictures are how many creeps, or these little people, that they've killed. We've got a first blood, and that first blood happened down here, down bot. The first blood went to blue team, and it went from this guy right here, Ezreal, the blonde guy right there. Now, he's heading back to his lane, and also it looks like Ziggs also got a first blood, but he's pretty damaged. If you look up on the top, though, you can see there's a gold counter for each team, saying that blue team has 5.5k, or 5,500k, or 5,500 gold, excuse me, and the purple team has 4,700 gold. Now, if you look at the 2 big numbers, of course, that's how many kills each team has, and off to the far right of this tablet, there are little towers. Now, those are actually these big towers right here, because the overall goal for the game is for the champions of the enemy team to take out this. This is called the Nexus. And then these little guys here, which are like mini Nexuses, are called inhibitors. Now, when we get closer to that part of the game, I'll be able to explain that a little bit better. Let's see if we can get a little bit of footage down here. So far right here with ADC and support, the bot lane for purple has pushed blue lane pretty close to their tower. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. This it puts blue in a little safer motion, and it leaves purple open to get what's called a gank. Now, a gank is when, let's say, Maokai, the big tree guy I showed you guys earlier, he came in from the bushes over here, and he came behind these guys, and he attacked them so that these guys could also attack them at the same time, doing what's called a gank. That's one reason that you don't want to push so forward. But in order for purple team to protect themselves from this, they have placed a ward. Now, vision wards are very, very, very important. See, here comes Maokai, just like I was stating. Wards are very, very important. They give you vision where your champions aren't. See, here comes the gank I was telling you about. Maokai is coming in. He is throwing his little guy, and it explodes. See, and he's doing minor damage. Now, they're going to go in and they're going to try to punish him for it, but knowing that Ezreal and Nami have been there, they're going to go ahead and back off, and they're going to continue back into the laning phase. Now, if we go up here and take a look at the mid, Ziggs has got Orianna on the ropes. She's pushed really, really heavily up against her tower. Now, when I was talking about the tower not being such a bad thing, one of the downsides to being pushed to your tower is that you have more trouble killing the creeps that you need to get for your gold. Now, this is very, like I said, creep score is very, very, very important to how the game plays. If you have low creep score, or the other team has higher creep score, then you're going to have more issues. Now, as you can see, Ziggs is just bullying Orianna pretty much out of lane because it's almost like a counter pick, I believe. Ziggs does a lot of damage. He is right now in League Legends one of the most powerful mid lane champions in the entire game. Oh, it looks like a gank failed. Yep, it's a reverse gank. It looks like Amumu's in there trying to help out take out Nami. Now, with this goal here, you see that Vayne, right? Vayne is played by Dark Tremors, right there. Vayne's an AD carry. Now, just like the normal word carry, the goal for a carry is to get as many kills and as much gold as possible to become the most powerful champion on their team so that they may carry them to victory. Now, they've given both of their kills to Vayne so that she can become stronger, like I said, to fight stronger against Ezreal and Nami. So I'm going to go ahead and take another look up here at Renekton to see what he's doing. He's throwing down a ward so that he can, protect himself against those ganks I was telling you about. But he is stunned. He is stunned Rumble, and Rumble is taking it. He's being a man. He's taking it. And the main thing about top lanes is they're what usually are called bruisers. Now bruisers, top lane bruisers are, their main goal is to become either very, very tanky or very, very damage oriented. Renekton and Rumble are both very tanky, strong champions. And what I mean by tanky is they usually have a lot of attack, a lot of defense, and a lot of armor. Now if you take a look here at Renekton, you look in the bottom left hand corner, he has got a Negatron cloak, which gives him magic resist. He's also got his health potion, which most people know that a health potion is going to restore 150 health over 15 seconds. And he's wearing a Doran's Blade. Now the Doran's Blade is a starting item that a lot of people take and use. A lot of ADCs, a lot of tops use it. It's not a mid thing because, like I said, mids are more AP champions. They're more, if you were to think AD and AP, AD is like swords, shields, bows, physical stuff, where AP is more magical stuff. Now, with the fight that's going up here, like I said, Rumble, the big robot guy, he is an AP champion. That is why Renekton has picked up that Negatron cloak right here. Is because he really, really wants that magical defense up against Renekton, or up against Rumble, excuse me. Now, as for Rumble, if I can pull Rumble up real quick, Rumble is running with the Seeker's Arm Guard, which gives him 30 armor and 20 ability power. So it's giving him defense against Renekton, but also giving him a little bit more boost for damage when he's fighting against Renekton. And it also transforms later on into an Hourglass. And when that kind of stuff happens, I'll be able to go into more detail about it, because weapons evolve, and they get stronger, and they give you different abilities and help you in different ways. But so far, we are 9 minutes in. And, here comes a gank from bottom. Amumu is going to go for his wrap. Oh, there it is. He's got the stun off. Rumble, he ults. Now, see, if you look at the ground there, there's little missiles that you see on the ground. It's an AoE damage ult. And what I mean by ult is it's short for ultimate. Now, the goal for the ultimate is it's the most powerful skill that a champion has in his arsenal. It's the thing that makes him different from every other champion. And, Renekton is not going to get that kill on Rumble, but Rumble is going to get that kill off on Amumu. But Orianna, as you can see here, was trying to come up to help out a little bit and left her lane open there a little bit for Ziggs, which is not usually a good call, but she was hoping to get a kill so she could work a little harder against Ziggs. Because if you look down here, if you can see my cursor, alright, if you can see my cursor, down here with Ziggs, he's got 1 kill, and Orianna, who's right here, has 1 death. So right now, Ziggs is in the lead with 72 CS, whereas Orianna has 76. Now, the question here is, why is Ziggs still in the lead even though he has more CS? If I've got my ratios correct, I believe for every 100 CS that you get, or creep score, you get 1 kill. Now, it doesn't show up as a kill on the list, of course, but it counts as a kill. So, technically, Ziggs is almost 2 kills, where Orianna is still 1. So that's where she's still ahead in that fight. Now, it is very important for the jungler, like here, Amumu, to protect the towers when he has the ability to. His main focus is to go ahead and run around here in the jungle and collect the buffs and give his buffs to his, his mid laner. Mid laners are usually the ones that want blue pretty bad. And, oh, look, Rumble's coming in here to get another gank on Orianna, taking those tower shots, but it's okay because he's tanky, like I told you before. He's got that extra strength, that extra power behind him. Oh, look what we got here. We got Dragon. Now let me explain Dragon a little bit. Dragon is a mob or a monster that shows up on the battlefield after a certain period of time. And this mob, when he's killed, will give the team a lot of gold. Now, if you look at the top amounts of gold right now, we got the blue team at 1,500, and we got the purple team at 14.3. Now, when this dragon dies, I want you to watch. I want you to see how much gold, because it's overall team. Oh, Amumu stole that with a smite. So he brought, as you can see, right up here at top, purple team has caught up to blue team's gold score. But the kills are now even as well too, because Vayne's getting in there. She's heading out on Ezreal, who flashes over the wall, but he's still got Ignite on him, so Vayne still may have a chance to get that kill. Let's see if she pulls it off. Oh, she got it, and she's going to put a little bit of damage on Nami, but she's not going to be able to kill her. She's going to get into that tower for some protection. Now, this is going to leave bottom lane is going to be completely open. Ezreal's down, Nami's going back to the Nexus to heal, and they're going to go ahead and take out this tower. And this will be the first tower you guys get to see actually going down. So as you can see, the health bar on the tower is starting to go down slowly, and they're putting some damage into it. And as soon as that tower goes down, the whole team will gain a gold count. I believe it's 100 gold per champion, so it should be an extra 500 gold when this tower drops down. And they're going to let the minions finish it, which is a very wise thing. It'll give them time to go back and buy and heal and all that good stuff. So bam, there you go. They have destroyed their first tower. Now that means that the front line that blue team has here is going to be weakened. It's going to allow the purple team to kind of sneak in here and do some extra ganks and do some extra damage and take more control over this red buff that they got here, which is found where the fire is. Now the red buff is found on both sides of the map on the fire. And there's this little campfire thing. So there's the red buff here, and then there is a red buff here. Each team has a red buff, and each team has a blue buff. See Maokai over here? He's right next to where the blue buff is. And Annie and Orianna are over here by this blue buff. Yep, and the blue buff is spawned. So the goal here is to give Orianna, or Hazed LOL, or Hazed LOL, there, my apologies, the blue buff so she can get that cooldown and that mana reduction. See, there she goes. She got that blue ring underneath her. Yeah, that's what that's all about. Is she's getting that buff, so her little blue bar underneath her health bar goes up. She can use her abilities a little bit more. Now I'm going to try to go into a little bit more detail in there about certain champions and what their goal is for the overall thing. Now we got Vayne down here, right? She's getting pretty aggressive. Now, if you look at the champions right there, they've got numbers next to their names. I don't know if you can see it properly, but right next to Vayne, it says Dark Tremors, and then there's a purple bar, and then there's a 9. That 9 is her level. Now, if I click on Vayne here, and you look down in the bottom left-hand corner, you will see little pictures. You see these little pictures? Night Hunter, Trumbull, Silverbolt, Condemn, and Final Hour. Now, these are her skills. The first one on the left is called a passive skill. This is a skill you don't put any points into, and you get it for free, and it helps out your champion as the game goes along. Now, Tumble is her Q, and the reason it's called a Q is because that's the button you push on the keyboard when you're playing. Oh, there's a problem. She died. I can't really. Oh, there we go. I brought it back up. Then her W is called Condemn, which is found on the keyboard. You hit the W key. And Final Hour is her E. Or no. Condemn is her E. Her W is Silver Bolts, and her Q is Tumble. My apologies. And Final Hour is her ultimate. Now, as you can see, there's numbers counting down on Final Hour. That means that she's used it, and for another 61 seconds, or 60 seconds now, she cannot use it again. Now, these are her items up here. Excuse me. And this is her attack damage. Yeah, see, there you go. And her movement speed, her ability power, her armor, her attack speed, and her magic resist. These are the stats that basically every champion has, and is pretty much how the game defines how much damage somebody's going to do or take, or so on and so forth. And these are changed as they level and by the items that they have. See, now one of the main things that happens in a normal League of Legends game is the game will slowly progress out of what's the first phase, which is the laning phase, which is where everybody was kind of just hanging out and fighting in lane and watching, you know, trying to get that tower. That's the main goal, is to get that tower down. Now, as soon as that tower goes down, what you want to do is you want to go and you want to, everybody usually groups mid or groups together so that the whole group kind of fights together. Now, the reason for this is everybody knows when you're in a group, you're stronger than by yourself. Everybody knows this, right? Now, when you've got different teams and different team compositions, there are strengths that come from different champions, and there are things that champions bring to the pool. Now, when it comes to this team, blue team, which is the team we're looking at right now, their team comp with Ziggs, Rumble, Ezreal, Maokai, and Nami is what is called a lockdown comp. Now, the reason it's a lockdown comp is Maokai, this guy right here, Maokai right here, the big tree, Get Duck Donald, which is, I think, who the team's named after. Anyway, Get Duck Donald is a very tanky, and you see this big circle he drops down. The goal is it locks the teams down so they can't do as much damage. And there's lots of AOE, where area of effect, like that big bomb that Ziggs right here, the little guy, damaged bear threw down. Now, Ezreal right there, the blonde guy, he has an ultimate that is a big beam that shoots across the whole map. Now, the reason I'm explaining this is I'm trying to explain what AoEs are, area of effect damage. The point of their team comp is to get them to set up things. Yep, there you go. There's the ult that I was telling you about. Is to get people crowded together so they can output as much damage in an area as they can. Now, as for the purple team, their comp is a little different. They've got Annie and Orianna, which Annie is a very CC oriented or crowd control oriented champion, where her stun is very, very important. I'm gonna stop talking about that for a second to explain what's going on here. This is a fight for Dragon. Now, earlier we saw one of the teams take down Dragon, and when they were taking down Dragon, you notice that their money jumped dramatically. And Amumu stole it the first time, and he got it this time as well. Now, the gold is very, very important, like I said, because it's all about gaining items. Now, purple team is chasing blue team, hoping that they can get in there, and that Amumu ult went down, and look at the gold. Look at the gold. Well, see, Rumble's getting in there too. He's got a double kill off of it. But it looks like... Oh, the only one left to stick is Ezreal. And, is he gonna... He makes it out. He makes it out. But I don't know if I don't think he can take Renekton one-on-one. So he's gonna sit out of that tower and try to farm up. Maybe he's gonna go home back to here to the Nexus so he can heal, which would be the wisest thing for him to do. Oh, he threw out that ult. Oh, and he missed him. He missed him with it, but that's okay. There will be other chances for him to get him. We got some pings going off. These little dots, if you look down in the right-hand corner of the mini-map, these things are pings. Now, pings allow you to communicate with the rest of your team to kind of tell them where you want to go or what you want to do. Those are just generic pings. There are 4 different pings, actually. There is a ping that will tell you that your team wants you to be here. There's a ping that'll tell you that you're going here. There's a ping that'll tell you that there's danger close by, or there's a ping to tell your team that you have no idea where the person that was there is. That we're talking about the enemy team. It's a big yellow question mark. It'll say a big yellow question mark will pop up in the spot, and that's you telling your team whoever you were next to that's an enemy is no longer there, or you don't know where they are. All right, so I'm going to go back into talking about... So if you're just joining us, I would just like to remind the viewers that we are at the OSU in the Ballroom, and we are at the Let There Be LAN 2005 or 2014 winter term tournament. We are currently watching League of Legends, and if I could get a picture of the people out in the front there. There we go. And there is the people that are out here playing League of Legends right now. They are also probably playing a couple other things, but right now the main game is League of Legends. I am your host, John Fosdick, and I will be commentating as much as possible on every video game or board game or whatever we come across here today at this Let There Be LAN 5 2014 Winter Tournament participation thing. So we're going to head right back into the actual gameplay, and this is League of Legends. Like I said, that we're watching, or that the tournament's going on. We've got the two teams, the purple team and the blue team. The blue team is TCG, I believe, and the purple team is Get Dunked Donald. That's what it is.
Turret has been destroyed.
Okay, so like I was saying prior, and for those that are tuning in, League of Legends is a strategy game, and right now the strategy is that the team is trying to take out these turrets. Now, the turrets are very, very important. They're probably one of the most, I want to say they're the third most important objective in the game, followed up by, over here is Dragon, who spawns there, and this guy here who we haven't got to see yet, which is Baron. When the Baron pops, oh, actually, we might be getting some Baron action here in a second. Maybe, possibly. Not quite sure. But we'll see. I'll let you know when the time comes. As for everything else that's going on, we've got a gold lead by the purple team for 35.8 thousand and 3 towers with 12 kills. And the purple team with 30,000 gold, 9 kills, and 1 tower. So, if to be politically correct, the purple team is in the lead. Now, I would like to take a second to go back out to the people out in the audience and go ahead and show that that we've got a good amount of people here. There's a lot of people out there with their computers. I mean, they're here having a good time. And from what I believe about the Let There Be LAN tournament, these things happen throughout the year. I mean, more than once. And here at OSU at the Ballroom is where it's happening right now. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to the gameplay footage and see if I can keep commentating on this. Alright, so what we've missed is a little bit of fights in the middle, but nothing big. I mean, nothing has really changed. The gold lead is still pretty strong for the purple team, and the blue team isn't as far behind, but the tower difference is what's making the difference in gold. Because the first 3 towers in the front row for purple team have gone down. They're no longer there. There's no more protection, leaving their blues and their reds open for the purple team to come in and do whatever they want to. But like I said, that's why you got these wards. That's why these wards are sitting here in these bushes, these little totems that are going to be given the other team, the blue team, vision on what purple team's doing. See, and then purple team's got their wards out here. And oh, that is a rune, or no, I apologize. It's a relic that the purple Oriana there, hazed LOL, threw down. The runes are found here. I'll pull hers up so it'll make more sense. Her rune is found here. It's the greater totem. I guess it wasn't her. Maybe it was Annie that did it. Pull up Annie real quick. There we go, there's Annie. Yep, she had the greater lens. Now the greater lens is a trinket, and a trinket is a new thing that was added during season 4. Now the trinket, greater lens, it reveals and disables nearby invisible traps, devices, and wards. Like I said earlier, what's going on here? They're destroying wards, so the enemy team doesn't have any vision. And so that happens for 6 seconds in a medium radius because it hasn't been upgraded to its maximum form yet. As you can tell, purple team has noticed that their ward disappeared and they got to put another one in. And they're going to start pushing mid again here. But if you look at the mini-map down in the bottom right-hand corner down here, there is a 4v5 happening because Oriana's all the way over here. Oh, no. Let me correct that. There's 2 people over here. Annie and Oriana are gone. And the only person that's pretty much out in the battlefield right now is Renekton. Then he's going up to farm top. Now what I mean by farm is that he's going up here to kill the creeps so that the wave continues to go forward. Now the wave's goal is to just continue. They continue to spawn. I believe it's I think it's every 30 seconds, but I could be wrong. And every 30 seconds, another one of these waves guys right here comes through. Now there's usually, if you look at them, there's 3 guys with shields, and there's 3 guys in the back with wands, and sometimes there's a big tank-looking one. Now, not every wave has a big tank, but every wave does have 3 warrior minions and 3 mage minions, which both give the same amount of gold. But the only difference is the warrior minions are more defensive and do less damage, but can take more damage, and the mage minions are weaker, but can do more damage. And the tank is just overall stronger than both, and does more for both. Now, I'm going to take it back over here and show you that the purple team is grouping up together in a 5, which is very, very important. Like I said, it is important for a team to stay together and to work as a team, because in League of Legends, it's all about strategy. And, oh, and he almost got hit by that Ezreal ult there. That would have not been good. But she also revealed her position as well to Ezreal and the blue team. Now, as you can see, everything is starting to culminate down here on the bottom lane, because blue team wants to protect this tower, and purple team wants to take that tower, of course. Now, just for the people that are tuning into us, we are at the We are at the Let There Be LAN 5 Winter 2004 tournament here at the OSU Ballroom. I'm your host, John Fosdick. Nice to see you again. And I'm going to be commentating and bringing you as much information, as much knowledge about the games that we're here to play. I'm also going to try to keep things, I don't want to say, I'm not going to say dulled down. I'm going to say, I'm going to try to explain things as if you were getting into a car and you're at the car dealership, you've never been in a car before, and you need somebody to kind of explain the features that's going on, or the first time watching sports. Like if you're watching a football game, you know nothing about football. That's what my goal is here. So we're going to go back to the gameplay footage. All right, and from what we missed, the purple team is still trying to get that bottom tower, and they're doing a pretty good job of that. They're even chasing Ezreal out, and the rest of the team is dead, actually. There was a big battle that we missed, and I apologize for that. But that tower is going to drop, and whoop, there it is. Purple team destroyed blue's tower. So that is the second tower gone, and purple team is slowly going to keep dwindling blue team down until they take this nexus over here. Right there. That's the goal. That's what we want. We want that nexus to drop. Now, it's both teams have a nexus, as you can tell. See, there's a purple one here, and there's a blue one back over here. I guess I can click. There you go. But you know, the game's not over. It's not even remotely close to over. Dragon's gonna pop up here, as you can tell. This means that the dragon is coming in 1 minute and 53 seconds. Now, like I said, the dragon is right here. This is where the dragon pops, and that's the money maker right now for this team. Baron is also very, very important. Now, Baron
Purple team's turret
is a very, very powerful monster that the entire team is going to have to be together to fight. And you'll see a lot of team fights throughout this tournament where Baron is now, he's just doing some damage. Vayne is going to get in there. And oh, look at that flash to the bush. Oh, he shouldn't have come out of that bush. Vayne got it. But it looked like purple team. Yeah, purple team lost that fight there, 2-3, or 2-2. My apologies. But Vayne is in enemy territory. She is gonna hurt. Oh, she is down. Now it is 3 down for purple team and 2 down for blue team, which is gonna give blue team the chance to come back a little bit and try to get some of these towers, which they have taken the mid tower and the top tower, but they're still 2 towers down. They're also 8,000 gold down and 4 kills down. And we're about to hit the 30-minute mark for this game as well, if that kind of gives you an understanding of what's going on with the how long a game can really take, because League of Legends is a very strategical game. I mean, it's not slow-paced. It starts out a little slow, but the mechanics are very, very important to learn, you know, what exactly you need to do and what you need to get done. In the actual online game, like I said, this is a LAN tournament, but in the actual online game, there are teams that, you know, play this game professionally. Their goal is to go out there and be the best team in the world and be known for this. And League of Legends is not just, you know, some random computer game that nobody knows about. This is one of the biggest computer games in the world right now. So if you're interested in it, you know, go ahead and throw League of Legends, League of Legends LCS into that Google bar, and you know, check it out, because League of Legends is one of the most well-known played strategy games in the world today. It's actually called a Dota. I don't know if that reference has been used before. But Dota is like a strategical game. This is the best explanation of a Dota besides the game Dota. But that's the game we may see later tonight. We may not. But I'll keep you posted and try to give you as much information on that as I can. No, Dota. MOBA is something completely different. Anyway, so going back to the game, like I said, purple team is still trying to push. But you see here we got 4 in the mid, and we got Renekton up here. Now this here is a strategy. It's called split pushing. The goal of a split push is to get the team, which is the blue team, to try to focus on the middle team, so that the Renekton over here can push on that tower. Now he's kind of going in between, hoping that he may be able to bait somebody into fight. But Rumble has come in to protect that tower like he should have, and Rengar is going to have to back off. Or not Rengar, my apologies. Renekton and Rumble. Sometimes you get the characters mixed up. But you see purple team here. They've got Armor stealing their blue, so they don't have that. And I believe it is about time for blue team to get a little more offensive. They've got the advantage here when it comes to the tower being there and how split up purple team is. But don't let that fool you. Just because the purple team is spread out a little bit doesn't mean they can't immediately come back together and be defensive. Now, if you look at a couple of these champions here, you see like the alligator guy there, he's on fire, and Mumu, the little green guy there, he's on fire, and that's because they both have an item called Sunfire Cape. Let's see if I can pull it up here. There you go, Sunfire Cape. Gives them 450 health, 45 armor, and it has a passive that deals 25 plus 16 magic damage per second to enemies nearby. That includes creeps and enemy champions. But it's a tanky item. It's made for those tanks, those buff guys, strong kind of warrior type bruiser classes. And then you got, if you look at Vayne here, which is Dark Tremor, she has what's called a Guardian Angel on. Now the Guardian Angel gives you 50 armor, 40 magic resist, and upon taking lethal damage or fainting, it restores 30% of your maximum health and mana after 4 seconds of stasis, and it has a 300-second cooldown. That pretty much means that if she dies, if she falls to the enemy team, she will come back in 4 seconds and be back to life at 30% health and mana and be able to continue the fight. It's a normal ADC weapon, usually for late game, not early game. Now, this Nami is toast. This Nami is toast. Look at this. Boom, and he takes it out, gets the 300 gold, pops her down. But Vayne is taking care of these creeps so that when the time comes, they can take out this tower. Look at that Andy block for Vayne. What a good support she is. Now, the one thing that you have to also know about this is you see how they're taking on this tower first, even though they were closer to this tower? It's because this tower will not take damage until that tower is down. And this tower here wouldn't have taken damage if this tower was still up here. So that's a very important thing to need to know, is that everything needs to be done in a certain order when it comes to the strategies. And like I said earlier, they are going to be going for Baron now. Now Baron gives them a different type of buff. Other than blue and other than red, it's a purple buff. Now this buff is feared on the battlefield. It makes the champion incredibly strong. If I can get a... Doesn't look like I can see the auras on them. Well, unfortunately I can't show you the auras, but... Oh, wait, here it is. There it is. There you go. Exalted with Baron, which means they destroyed him. The champion has increased attack damage, ability power, mana regeneration, and health regeneration. Like I said, the Baron buff is a very, very powerful buff, and it you know, it's something to fear, for sure. Alright. So now that they have Baron, purple team's strategy is more than likely going to be to go ahead and follow up and try to continue to get into that Nexus. Now, since we're on the subject of Annie, for example, we were talking about different classes that there can be. Now, Annie is a support. Now, she can also play mid, but she is moreover a support. And the reason that she's considered a support in this game is because of her item set and her masteries and rune pages. Now, masteries and rune pages is not something that you've been shown yet, but at some point, we may be able to show you a little bit of what a rune page and a mastery page looks like. I'll if I can, I'll bring it up. Otherwise, the reason Annie here is important to what's going on is the support drops down these little wards I was telling you guys about. Now, everybody can drop down wards, but a support's main purpose is to support her team with vision and with items that give her some sort of buff or special ability. Now, her item set is going to be given her team, let's see here, grants a shield to nearby allies for 5 seconds, you know, and has an aura, which an aura is something that emanates off of her, that grants nearby allies 20% magic resistance and plus 10 health regen. Like I said, most of her items are going to have something to do with giving her team some kind of bonus. Now, the next person that we're going to go after is called the ADC, or the AD carry. So in the purple team's case, their AD carry is Vayne. Now, like I said earlier in the broadcast, and just in case you weren't here with us, the AD carry, or the attack damage carry's purpose, is to be able to put out as much damage as physically possible. But they're like glass cannons. They're not usually very strong. They get bursted down. I mean, they die. AD carries aren't the tanks that, like, for example, Renekton here is. Now, or the defensive people. Now, but you can tell she puts out a lot of damage. She is very, very fast, very, very strong, and that's her purpose, is to do damage. And that's why she's sitting in the back. She needs that protection from Amumu, which is the little green guy, and Renekton, which is the alligator. And the defense, keeping her alive is very, very, very important. Now, the next person I'm going to go over to is mid. Their mid right now is, purple team's mid is Orianna. Her main goal was to try to carry as ability power, or the magic type. Now, her right now she is 1, 4, and 13, which means she has 1 kill, 4 deaths, and 13 assists, which means she doesn't have a lot of extra gold from the laning phase. She hasn't really done very well fighting or anything like that. I don't really know why purple team dove there. That was a pretty crazy mistake there. But it's alright. Purple team has a really good lead. They're sitting at 23 kills, 67,500 gold, and with 6 towers down, and coming into this Nexus area, the walled area, which is, your base. You gotta keep your base safe. Now, as I was saying, mids are very important because they have ability power. If the team doesn't have any ability, if the team doesn't have a lot of magic resist, ability power is really where the damage is going to come from. And the game can be carried by almost any champion, minus the support. Support doesn't really carry a game; it's just there to support. But top lane, middle lane, ADC, they can carry a game to victory. And as you can see, they're backing off, they're trying to come up with a different strategy. And I'm hoping that after this game, we may be able to get a team in here, or at least maybe the team captain, and get them in here to kind of give us a little rundown on what they were thinking, what they were trying to do. Sorry, it seems like I have a little bit of a little tickle in my throat. Now, as you can see up in the top left-hand corner, we got Baron coming up. Baron will be popping in about 1 minute and 48 seconds. So we'll probably see another fight for Baron here in a little bit. Actually, we'll probably see a fight for Baron coming up in about 1 minute and 40 seconds. As you can tell from the bottom of the screen, everybody's items are pretty much full. Everybody's getting to those full builds and starting to get really powerful. I don't know if I explained it earlier, but the max level for champions in League of Legends is 18. And you get a skill for every level that you have. So, logically, you have, 5 points in your Q, 5 points in your W, 5 points in your E for 15, and then 3 in your ultimate. So that equals up to 18. As for, I'm trying to think what else I could explain. I think that's the most basic explanation I can give of League of Legends. So I'm going to go ahead and remind the viewers that we are here today at OSU at the Ballroom, and we are at the Let There Be Land 5 Winter 2014. I guess it's a tournament. There's lots of different games and stuff going on, but right now we're doing League of Legends. I'm going to show you a picture of the crowd that we got out there. Switch it over. All right, there we go. And there is the crowd that we've got going on out there. And there's a lot of people here. There's a lot of people doing lots of different stuff. And, yep, just down here at the OSU Ballroom. And don't forget you're watching Split Screen on KBVR TV. And, all right, so we're going to go back to the game real quick because there's important stuff happening. This right here, this is called an inhibitor. This is very, very important. The inhibitor allows the team that destroys it, so the purple team in this case, to start spawning what's called a super minion. We may not be able to see a super minion because, yep, the enemy team surrendered. So that means that purple team takes the victory. That is the end of that first show. That is the first match won, and it was won by the purple team. Now, I'm going to see if I can get somebody from the purple team to come in here. I may or may not be able to get to do that, but I will let you know. While we're waiting to find out if that's going to happen, I'm going to show you guys the bracket. Now, this bracket was put together, I believe, by, yeah, it's hosted by MobaStomp. I'm pretty sure they put the bracket together as well. Let's see here. TCG versus UO Team 2. Looks like they didn't put their name in, which is the Donald team. I believe this is the game that we just watched right here. So, with that being said, this team will advance to the next round. These two teams will fight. When these two teams finish and these two teams finish, there's two teams will go up and fight. They'll go up into this bracket, and so on and so forth. And then there'll be the finals where this bracket fights this bracket, and then there'll be the losers bracket, and that'll come in. And we won't be able to show you every single game that pops up today. But I'm going to be following around a certain team, or I'm going to actually be following around a certain player known as, right here, Screaming Korean. Screaming Korean is one of the people that I'm going to be following around for the day, and he is going to be letting me spectate in on most of his games, or all of his games that he's going to be spectating himself. But like I said, League of Legends is a strategy-based game, and that game right there took 41 minutes and 32 seconds. So games can be a lot longer or a lot shorter than that, just depending on how the teams play. Just remember, you are watching Split Screen on KBVR, and we will see you when we get back. See you guys in a bit. This is John Fosdick for Split Screen, and my guest, Phil.
Yeah, I'm Philipp Bardenheir. I'm the vice president of the League of Legends Club at Oregon State University.
Okay, so Phil, why don't we go into a minor understanding of what you did and how you got into League of Legends and why you're a part of your club in the first place.
Well, for many years I was a really hardcore PC gamer, and for the longest time I saw my friends playing League of Legends, and I always wondered what the game was, but at a certain point I was like, I don't want to join them. I don't want to be part of that big crowd. But
Right.
During high school, a lot of my classmates started getting into the game. And it turned out also that one of my classmates' his father is one of the senior managers at Riot Games, which owns League of Legends. And, you know, eventually we started getting a club going, and I became the vice president of that, and I organized events. And it just kind of grew from there, and I've been playing League for at least 2.5 years.
All right. And how many members do you guys have right now?
The Oregon State Club has several hundred members already, and we're continuing to get more every day as more and more people are coming out of the closet and saying they play League.
Okay. So if a random person like watching the show right now wanted to, be a part of the club, what would they have to do?
We have a Facebook page, Oregon State University League of Legends. Just ask to join the page. You'll be added pretty quickly. We've got documents on there listing summoner names, and we're pretty soon going to be developing, we're going to be hosting our own LAN tournaments. Aside from the gaming club LANs, we're also talking about doing coaching opportunities with some of our higher ELO players. We're planning also on doing fun nights, every other night or so, where someone's going to be hosting ARAMs or different kind of styles of the game. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be great. We welcome anybody who's willing to play a MOBA.
Okay.
Playing League of Legends is fun. We welcome anybody. So.
Okay. And we're gonna kind of wrap it up a little bit, but there's one final question I want to ask you. Pertaining to what we're doing here today. How do you feel this goes up against like a normal LAN party game? Like, is this unusual, or is this normal for how LANs are usually ran? Or
Well, typically before they didn't have really big league tournaments before at some of these lands, but now that the league club is around and that a lot of people who played league and would only go to lands for league, now since there's a separate entity, governing the tournaments for League of Legends, it's made it a lot easier for us to have bigger tournaments. This tournament we have 8 teams going at it from both Oregon State and the University of Oregon, as well as teams of just random people who came to the LAN just to have fun and they wanted to participate in the tournament. And whoever wants to win prizes, if they win, they win.